Yo, welcome back. Today we are looking at Bruce back on the T-Embed CC1101, and we're looking at the new firmware 1.10 is what we're on now. Now, this firmware brings something pretty cool, and if you follow my channel and you see my short, I showed you this theme right here. Now, I guess this has been going on for maybe about 2 or 3 weeks now for the themes. I figured I'd give it a go, and I am super excited with this functionality because different UIs are always exciting and look a lot better than some other UIs. No shade at Bruce at all. I love their UIs and stuff, but it is cool to see something cool come out on a full color display like CC1101 offers. And I will show you how to do this. It's super simple. Pretty much we're just going to go and flash our firmware on the Bruce here to the 1.10, and then from there, once you're flashed and your firmware is flashed, we are going to then go to the community area down here in the website, and over there you can see that we have a few themes to choose from. Now, if you also go to the Discord for Bruce, there is a themes for Bruce area, and over here we have a lot of really cool new themes that people have created. You know, we have one that is Watchdog related. There's a Flipper 01. This is a Cyberpunk 2077 one that was also shown on YouTube, and here is a shark themed one. Anyways, like I said, super easy to do themes with, but the reason why my T-Embed CC1101 is in pieces is because I want to go ahead and do the SMA little antenna upgrade. Now, I started this little segment on my lunch break at work the other day, and I got semi-far, but I did say that if you didn't have these are called U.FL-RF little dongles, if you will, right? So this little portion right there, which you can barely see, that little guy right there, that is a U.FL, and then it goes to an SMA. This one is a male SMA because you can see the pin protruding out there in the center, and then this one is a female SMA. Now, I harvest these little guys out of old wireless routers. Some wireless cameras have them built into it. Just old junk really that I find. I will tear it apart, and that's where I can get these guys from. But if you don't have that stuff lying around, I will put links in the description below for these little guys. They will be affiliate links, just FYI. But I did kind of show you how to tear apart the T-Embed here.
So looking inside of this, we have right here, these are U.FL-RF, and one goes to the Wi-Fi antenna coming out of that ESP32 chip right there. One goes to the RF antenna coming out of that RF port right there. And then the other one comes from that is the RF one from the green chip. That is your CC1101. And the bottom one there, you can see the antenna pattern. That is your RFID antenna. And then that comes out of the RF one. So when you unplug those, just be aware of where they're at. Careful with the RFID antenna because we are going to keep that guy and use him. Now we see here, this is the T-Embed CC1101 disconnected, and we can see that we took off the CC1101 antenna, the RF antenna, and then the Wi-Fi antenna from the ESP32 itself. And then here is our antenna layout. Now from here, we're just gonna slowly start to take off these two antennas. Remember to leave your RFID antenna alone. The orientations be that way, so we're going to take off this top antenna and then the side antenna over here. There are some 3D printed cases out there, but there's none for the shell itself. They're just back portions, and the back portions offer the pre-drilled holes when you print them with your printer for the antennas. I would like to see somebody create this actual shell with the holes already ready to go for that 3D printed for your SMAs.
And I made a comment that the shell here, it'd be great if somebody were to 3D print the shell with the SMA holes already part of that. And there are a few 3D print models that I've seen that have SMA holes, but it is a extension on the back plate that makes it wider, and then they put the antennas out there. Now that's good and all, but the point of this is to kind of keep it as thin as possible. And I honestly don't like, having something bulkier to carry around. So if somebody out there that has some mad 3D design skills could design a T-embed shell with the holes already there, that would be awesome. To do that, I use my calipers to figure out the width of the SMA here, and I'm coming in right at 5.73, so roughly, if we round up to 6, and then that gives us a 1/4 inch drill bit is where I landed at. So a 1/4 inch drill bit is exactly 6.00 millimeters. So I just use a 1/4 inch drill bit to get through that. Now we can then take our SMA guy and just shove him up, and that is that, and that's how he will sit that. So simple enough. And then I'm just gonna screw that guy down, and my antenna SMA tightener 3D printed wrench, I do my best to always keep it handy, and there it is. So go print yourself one of these little 3D printed SMA wrenches. They are all awesome to have lying around on your workbench, because they work with the antennas on the H4M if you need to tighten anything down, and just a lot of SMA related things. I'm going to skip I'll use the female one because I like the jumper on it more. This one, on the one that I had lying around, a spare one, the jumper is kind of like pretty long. This was for a mesh tasket build that I bought, so I'll save that for now, and I will just go ahead and use the weird one that I pulled out. Now this, of course, has been done before by a lot of people, so there's nothing really special that I'm doing here. I just figured I would give it my own go at it. And my RFID antenna did come off whenever I did it originally, so I'm going to start with that guy, putting him back on. Alright, so if you weren't able to see from the other posting of the video that I did, that right there, that guy, that is your RFID antenna. And then the one on the ESP chip right there, that is your Wi-Fi. And then this one on the green board, that is your CC1101 or sub-gig antenna. So I'm going to go ahead and reattach my RFID one, the one that came off. And it's still semi-sticky, so we should be okay to go with it. So the antenna on the right, if the unit is facing me, I'm going to have that one go to my sub-gig area, because I should already have a sub-gig antenna lying around here somewhere. And then the weird one that had the female attachment, or the male attachment, that I stole off of a Wi-Fi camera, I'm going to have that go to the Wi-Fi, because obviously I already have a Wi-Fi antenna for that guy. Simple as that. And then when you're done, we're just going to gently tuck everything back in, and I'm going to then put that RFID little sticker thingy back where it goes. Now you could always tell an RFID antenna because of how the lines in it are, square pattern in this instance, and that is just how RFID is read, because it's creating that magnetic field to read RFID. And then we're just going to just gently put this board back on, pop back on my speaker in there, and if your unit gets to where it's not sticking as it was when you tore it all apart, you can always get some 3M adhesive spray and just kind of gently tack it in there and then reapply everything, or just some good old double-sided sticky tape. But probably the 3M spray is going to be the best, because you don't want to disrupt any of your RFID signals that you're trying to capture. So anything thicker than probably some basic adhesive spray may disrupt that, and then you would not have great signal reception. When you're done, and then that's the back right there. Pop back on my plate, and then there we have it. Our unit is back up as it should be. Now let's go over some spacing real quick on this right here. That way, if you guys choose to do this, then you can know what spacing you need to drill these guys at. What I did is, with the back cover off, And you don't need calipers to do this. You can probably do this with a basic tape measure. But with the back cover off, I just measured the thickness of this, and obviously the faceplate was off as well, so it came out to be 20 millimeters, pretty much exact. And then I just cut that in half, so 10. So 10 was my center point. To measure, let's go ahead and go off of, since this is round, to measure this, we're going to go off of, we're going to go right here by this little first tab. So if the unit is facing you and the wheel is obviously on the right, then this first little tab right here, if we were to measure that, and we'll try to make it centered to what I can. I should have measured this before I put the antennas on, but we're just gonna eyeball it. It's roughly fit 14 mils from that tab, and then if we go from the button, the reset button right here on this right side, if the unit's facing you, to the center, then we are roughly at 10 mils, or no, a little less. We'll call it 9. So 14 and 9 mils, and then, like I said, half and half. So it doesn't have to be exact, you know. Just you can pretty much eyeball this with the unit together and just say, okay, you know, I have this much space to play with, so therefore I need to do this. Let's go ahead and pop in an SD card here and make sure everything functions as it should. And I'll need some power. I guess it probably should have antennas attached, right? So Wi-Fi was on the right, sub-gig left. Have a sub-gig antenna. Wait, yeah, I do. I'm gonna steal this one off of the Ghost ESP32 board from Rabbit Labs for now, until I can get another one. Correction. All right. Wi-Fi was on the left. That's what I did. And then sub-gig was on the right. So it actually kind of helped to have female and male SMA ports, because then I wouldn't get confused of which one was which. So that kind of worked out. Got the unit on. We are charging. And I know that my SD card is reading because obviously the nice little GUI is there, or the UI. So file, GPS. I might put a GPS on this thing. That sounds kind of fun, so I might do that. So back on the themes real quick. To upload your theme, just follow the instructions. It's super simple. Once you have your themes uploaded to your SD card or to the little FS file system there on your Bruce, and then under config, we're going to go to the UI theme. That is that new section. So under UI theme, we can then load up our SD card, and then you're going to put that theme folder in your SD card, and then that's where I have the sci-fi theme. That's what I'm using. So that's how you do it. You just click on it, and then it sets it as that theme. So super simple. See, now we're back to that other basic UI, and then if I go back over there to Fig, and I go back to UI theme, and then I go back to my SD card, and then I go back to the sci-fi one, click on that, and then the theme is a JSON. Click on that guy, and then now we're back on that theme. So that's how simple it is. But Wi-Fi, let's make sure this antenna works. So we have connect Wi-Fi. That's Wi-Fi attack. Listen, telnet SSH. Just go raw sniffer. So we are receiving some packets, so I know that Wi-Fi is working. So if we go over here to 433.92, okay, and I'm just gonna hit start. So what I did there is I'm just using my H4M transmitting a Subaru lock. There's no Subarus around me in my area. I know that for sure. So I'm not damaging or unlocking anybody's vehicle, just saying that. But I'm just using that to transmit the unlock feature on the H4M, and then I just hit start, and then you can hear over here that we are receiving that frequency from the H4M to the T-Embed CC1101. So simple as that. It is working. So great. All my antennas are reading as they should, and the SD card's reading, and pretty simple upgrade. I don't know why I waited so long to do that, but anyways. One thing I mentioned whenever I first got my T-Embed CC1101 is that the dial here is very kind of like slick, and I'm not a big fan of it. Now, I was searching through the cases on different 3D printing sites, trying to find one that I liked and to see if anybody offered one that had the SMA ports already kind of milled out with a new case to print. I couldn't find one, but I did find this little bitty ring right here. And this goes over your little dial. It just slides on pretty well. I 3D printed this out of resin, and you could probably just throw some little 3M spray, adhesive spray, and it will stay. But it adds a great texture, and it no longer slides because it's got enough little ribs to easily scroll back and forth. So something to consider for yourselves. I will put a link in my Discord for these little guys, and as well as the SMA wrenches. And I am also working on a bottom cover for the H4M. So once that is complete, I will put that on my Discord as well. For anybody that's interested in those, they will be free STLs to get. If you would like some of these things printed out, just shoot me a DM, and I'll be happy to print out a few, just pay for shipping, and to make it, worth my time. If you don't have access to a 3D printer, then I'm more than happy to help you guys out. So also like these little SMA covers that I print as well out of resin. So yeah, if you're interested in any of this kind of stuff, again, join my Discord, link in the description below. Go get yourself a T-Embed CC1101, link in the description below. That will be an affiliate link, and then I will put links for all the SMA to u.fl attachments as well in the links. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I hope this video helps somebody out there kind of figuring out themes as well as a little hardware hack. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.